trade war with China, why the White House is now clarifying his answer. Trouble in the tropics, Dorian gaining strength, a new update just in, possibly becoming a hurricane as it nears Puerto Rico, plus deadly storms from the Midwest to the south. In the fire zone, devastating wildfires burning across the Amazon. Our reporter on the front lines as a U.S. supertanker arrives to help battle this global crisis. City in chaos, riot police clashing with pro-democracy demonstrators, firing warning shots and tear gas, kicking protesters on the ground.
Oh, tear gas. Smooth.
Our Ian Pannell right in the middle of it all. The massive explosion, a shopping center blown apart hours before opening. The blast fell from miles away. Handcuffed at home.
I'm at home.
The homeowner put in cuffs after his home security system was tripped by mistake. Also tonight, the deputy now facing charges for allegedly faking reports of a sniper attack, while the sheriff says it was all a hoax. And leaving the game, star quarterback Andrew Luck's stunning decision, retiring at 29. Fans booing him as he walks off the field. The reason why he's calling it quits.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with President Trump's surprising comments about his escalating trade war with China just hours before the stock markets open in the U.S. The president, surrounded by leaders at the G7 summit in France, insisting America's allies are not pressuring him over his tariff battles. Reporters asking if he's having second thoughts about that trade war, his confusing answer forcing the White House to clarify. Millions of Americans worried about the economy, a possible recession, and their 401ks following Friday's major market plunge. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl at the G7 to lead us off.
For a president who rarely, if ever, expresses regret, today in France, President Trump made what seemed to be a surprising admission.
Mr. President, any second thoughts on escalating the trade war with China?
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Second thoughts?
Might as well.
Do you have second thoughts about escalating the war with China?
I have second thoughts about everything.
At the same time, the president struck a decidedly more conciliatory tone towards the Chinese.
Actually, we're getting along very well with China right now. We're talking. I think they want to make a deal much more than I do.
He said he was dropping, at least for now, his threat of declaring an economic emergency to force U.S. companies out of China.
Well, I have the right to if I want. I have no plan right now.
But just a few hours after the president acknowledged those, quote, second thoughts, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham put an entirely different spin on the president's words, issuing this statement. His answer has been greatly misinterpreted. President Trump responded in the affirmative because he regrets not raising the tariffs higher. Those words from the press secretary would seem to signal a ratcheting up of the trade war with China. But shortly after that, the Treasury Secretary signaled the president had simply misheard the question.
Does he have second thoughts and believe tariffs should be higher, or did he not hear the question?
Again, he doesn't have second thoughts about what he's done. If anything, he wanted to clarify if he had second thoughts, it would be to raise the tariff.
And is that something that's really on the table, raising the tariffs even further?
Okay, but if China retaliates again, that's obviously an option the president would consider.
All right, I want to bring in John Karl now, who's in France. He's traveling with the president. And, John, another surprise at the G7 today, the Iranian foreign minister tweeting this photo of his sidelines meeting, and we can see right there French President Emmanuel Macron as well. John, some of the president's allies quick to call the invitation to Iran disrespectful to the U.S. What are you hearing from the White House tonight?
Well, Tom, it was quite a sight to see an Iranian jet here in the south of France as this summit was getting underway. That said, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham did not respond to inquiries about Zarif's visit. The Treasury Secretary was also asked about it, didn't directly respond, but he did note that President Trump has said that if the Iranians want to meet with the United States, that the president is willing to have those meetings without preconditions. And the president himself said earlier about French reach out to the Iranians, quote, you can't stop people from talking. If they want to talk, they can talk.
John Karl leading us off tonight. John, thank you. And back here at home, some dangerous weather tonight heading into Monday, and an update coming in on Tropical Storm Dorian. Thunderstorms and flash flooding possible from New Orleans to the Dakotas. Police say a woman died when her car was swept away while driving on a flooded road in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And news tonight on the 6 victims injured in a lightning strike at the PGA Tour Championships. All 6 are now recovering at home. And Dorian, take a look, possibly becoming a hurricane as it nears Puerto Rico later this week. We just learned it's gaining strength at this hour. Let's get right to WABC meteorologist Jeff Smith. Jeff, good evening.
Yeah, and the tropics certainly getting active, but we begin on the mainland tonight. We have some issues in the Dakotas, a severe weather threat. We could be talking wind and hail with any thunderstorms that develop from Pierre to Fargo. And then it's a heavy rain threat from New Orleans all the way up to Chicago. Could be a very messy morning commute tomorrow in the Chicagoland area. We zoom things off to the south and east. Here's Dorian, gaining strength right now, 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Expected to be a strong tropical storm as it passes the Lesser Antilles during the day on Tuesday and then comes close to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is in that cone of uncertainty midweek. It could be peaking out as a minimal hurricane before weakening as it passes over Hispaniola. Another system developing off of Florida. That'll stay clear of the U.S. East Coast, but that'll increase the risk of rip currents and rough surf. But that does have an 80% chance of development as it heads out to sea.
We will be watching Dorian also all week. Jeff, thank you for that. We move on now to the global crisis. The Amazon in flames as the world watches. New images showing massive wildfires sweeping across the Amazon rainforest, covering an area the equivalent of Detroit all the way to Los Angeles. The U.S. sending in a super tanker, you see it there, to help fight the fires. 44,000 members of the Brazilian military now called in as reinforcements. ABC's Matt Gutman is in the fire zone.
Those images tonight, apocalyptic. The Amazon on fire. Brazil's Air Force deploying C-130 tankers, streaming out 3,000 gallons per drop. And the Bolivian government contracting this U.S.-based 747 supertanker capable of carrying 19,000 gallons. Those assets, including 44,000 Brazilian troops sent to the fire line, minuscule given the scale of fires erupting across this region. In Brazil alone, about 80,000 fires have burned, many caused by farmers, leveling a record amount of forest, the Amazon producing 20% of the world's oxygen. We saw it from the air.
I've been covering fires for years now. I've never seen burn scars like this.
And on the ground. Joining members of the Corumbá Fire Brigade, 30 men covering an area twice the size of New Jersey.
The tools they have are pretty rudimentary. You can see they have these, they look like floor mats in cars, and they're using sticks to slap down the fire.
No fire trucks, no hoses, sometimes just kicking the fire. And then through a curtain of fire, this man appeared. He said his name is Jefferson and that he first reported the fire. At first, attacking it by himself.
He's showing us how he was putting out fires.
The fire burning the shirt off his back, but he stayed, as did those weary firefighters.
And they were out there, Tom, for 29 consecutive hours. No radios, no fire trucks, no help. Now, the U.S. government and other governments have offered assistance, but so far Brazil's president said his country doesn't need any. Tom.
An incredible battle there in the Amazon. Matt, thank you. Now to the violent chaos erupting on the streets of Hong Kong. Police in Reykjavik are clashing with pro-democracy demonstrators. An officer firing a warning shot at protesters who were armed with sticks. The situation on the brink of spiraling out of control. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell in the thick of it all.
Tonight, anarchy on the streets of one of the world's financial centers, Hong Kong. Protesters charging at police with sticks and umbrellas. And then listen. That's the sound of live ammunition used for the first time since the 3-month fight for the future of this city erupted. Police firing a warning shot, then pointing their weapons directly at demonstrators. One officer losing control with an unarmed protester. Even water cannons deployed onto the streets. This weekend has seen a sharp escalation in violence.
They've given warnings to the crowd. They're now going ahead.
Bringing an end to an almost 2 weeks of calm here. Today, police launching a relentless barrage of tear gas.
There's more tear gas canisters being brought forward, but some of the protesters are literally picking them up and trying to throw them back.
Forcing us to take cover.
Smooth, smooth, smooth.
The air thick with smoke and anger on both sides.
And this is certainly the worst situation we've seen. The most violence, the most tear gas, and the most resistance from the protesters. The question now is how long will China tolerate these scenes?
And just across the border, Chinese troops, some dressed in civilian clothes, appearing to role-play protesters, staging drills, armoured trucks by the stadium. A dark reminder they're able to move into this Chinese territory if Hong Kong police lose control.
Ian Pannell joins us now live from Hong Kong. And Ian, you were just showing us how this situation there is just escalating further.
Yeah, that's right. And the Chinese have warned that if the Hong Kong authorities can't control this situation, then they certainly will. And it seems that something changed this weekend. And if that violence continues or even escalates, then the chances of seeing Chinese troops crossing over the border will only grow. Tom?
Ian Pannell for us tonight. Ian, thank you. Here in the U.S., we do move on to a surprising twist in the search for a possible sniper in Los Angeles County. The sheriff revealing it was all a hoax. A deputy claiming he was shot in the shoulder in a station parking lot and saved by his bulletproof vest. He's now accused of making it all up. The sheriff not mincing words. ABC's Will Carr's in California.
Tonight, this is the call when a deputy claimed a sniper shot him in the shoulder.
Take a shot from the north of the Lancaster helipad. Two shots go out. My sister to the right.
But now authorities say that deputy made the story up.
We are incredibly disappointed to have to report to you that the reported sniper assault was fabricated by our deputy.
On Wednesday, officials believed a sniper shot 21-year-old Angel Reynosa, a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy.
And the only reason that deputy is alive is because he had his vest on.
The claim set off a massive manhunt. The SWAT team stormed a nearby apartment complex, even raiding people's homes. But authorities say there was no evidence a shooting ever took place, and now say the deputy made a stunning admission.
He also told investigators that he had caused the holes in his uniform shirt by cutting it with a knife. There was no sniper, no shots fired, and no gunshot injury sustained to his shoulder.
In a strongly worded Facebook post, Reynosa's fellow deputies say they're angry, embarrassed, furious, and ashamed.
Authorities say they're not sure why the deputy lied, but say he's expected to be fired and will likely be charged for reporting a false crime. Tom.
Yeah, the reason why he did it's still a mystery. All right, Will, thank you. Next tonight, ICE facing new backlash. The agency shutting down a hotline helping detained immigrants receive legal help. ICE taking action less than 2 weeks after the hotline was featured on a popular show. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
It was a scenario immigration advocates hoped would only play out on screen.
You have to be careful, though, okay? Apparently, if they figure out that you're using the hotline, Big Brother shuts it down.
But that free hotline for detained immigrants depicted in the latest season of Orange is the New Black was real.
I found this group online. It's called Freedom for Immigrants, and they want to help people in here.
And Freedom for Immigrants says after that episode aired that featured their 4-digit hotline for detainees, it was silenced.
Since our involvement in Orange is the New Black, ICE has completely shut down our hotline.
In this letter to ICE, producers and actors with the show demanding the hotline be restored. In a statement, ICE said organizations found to be violating the rules may be removed, adding detainees can still call the group directly. An ICE official now telling ABC News the group was taken off for three-way calling and call forwarding, which are strictly prohibited, adding the group had been removed before for prohibited conduct. That group saying if that 4-digit hotline is not restored, they'll see ICE in court. Tom?
Rachel, thank you. Now to the 2020 election, the new challenger entering the race. Conservative radio host and former Congressman Joe Walsh today announcing his primary campaign against President Trump on This Week. Walsh calling him unfit and a child. Recent polls showing the president's approval rating among Republicans above 80%. And the major sports headline tonight, Indianapolis Colts star quarterback Andrew Luck's stunning decision, retiring at the age of 29. Luck has battled a number of serious injuries over the years, fans booing him as he walked off the field, learning of his decision during a preseason game. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, veteran quarterback Andrew Luck is officially leaving the NFL after 7 seasons.
But I am going to retire. This is not an easy decision. Honestly, it's the hardest decision of my life.
Luck, at just 29 years old, was at the top of his game, but now calling it quits just before the start of the NFL regular season. That decision stunning fans and his teammates at last night's preseason game between the Colts and the Bears. The quarterback suffering years of debilitating injuries.
I've been stuck in this process. I haven't been able to live the life I want to live.
Luck was sidelined the entire 2017 season, but he roared back last year, leading the Colts to the playoffs, winning the Comeback Player of the Year award.